I'm just going to grab a little bit of this blue and mark roughly where you saw the waterline to be. So the bush will be here, water here with reflections, and the rocks here, and a gentle kind of ragged curve just through there where the two meet. And you can see that most of this application so far is white. These are very light colours. This whole painting on day one will be very, very light. Now the technique there was the dagger technique from the ebooks and the DVDs. The thrust of the brush drives the paint into the web of the canvas and empowers it. And mixing up white and pink, and like the brush, notice it's unmixed on the knife. And just very quickly I'm going to strike some texture through this area here where the water meets the bush. For now, let's have some fun with the transparent glaze technique and look at it come to life. Doesn't matter if you go over your trees, we're moulding the image. This is part of the very different approach that we have in advanced painting technique and advanced painting structure. This time I'm using the knife to mix it and the knife to apply it, and notice that it's not too dark. Okay, back on the palette now, we're going to use the scumble technique. And there we are, some simple scumbles very quickly placed on the canvas again so that it had a dagger technique, a glaze, and now a scumble. Now the detail in there is fantastic, and that's not a very strong glaze. The changes do happen very rapidly. Now you'll see that I've nestled some of the glazes in under where the rocks are, and the brush was flat. A quick scrub across the surface of the paint, letting the texture do its work. And if you want to, you can just build up a little area of light. Through this middle section of the reflections, we empowered the canvas with vertical strokes using the dagger technique. You can now, if you want to apply just here and there some horizontal transparent glazes just to pick up that horizontal feeling of reflections on the water. And there you have it, a nice little painting using advanced technique, very easy to do. We did this really in 4 stages except for this last little bit at the end. The more that you practice, of course, the more that your final stages, the knowledge that you gain in the final stages will inform the way that you paint your first stage. So do the tutorial again and again, and you'll find that hidden inside the combination of these techniques will be your own personal approach to how you combine them and how you move forward on your creative journey. We learned here, of course, that quality techniques combine, and they combine to create an incredible amount of detail, what we call the illusion of detail. Far more detail than had we tried to actually paint it with a small brush. Most of this was done with a big brush. We learned that the image evolves, that trees and bushes and reflections evolve of their own accord. We certainly have control over the image, but the image and the subject matter is moulded. This is very different from just colouring in like normal painting. So instead, what we have here is a work of art, something that will live on through time. It will look different to the viewer on different days according to their moods. It's far more than a traditional kind of painting, even though it's a traditional subject, because of the quality of advanced technique. And above all, it's a thrilling thing to do and a thrilling experience to share.